But wait, there's more.
There's more.
So now we're in the sand pit side.
That's right. So
the small, literally, but this is not your main sand pit.
Nope.
This is make room for landfill space, sell sand on site, and also have cover material, correct?
That's it. So right now we need sand at the plant bad time. And so we're digging this cell. This will eventually be future landfill space, as, as it all will be right here. But right now we need sand to feed the plant, because the concrete plant is high in demand right now. So we've got the big Komatsu down here loading up our Volvo off-road truck, and they're taking it right to the plant.
To the stockpile over there.
Yep, it's being processed and turned into concrete sand.
What I've noticed right here is this is a lot coarser sand.
Yep.
This is your concrete sand.
That's your concrete
now
sand.
Is this a layer? Because that other pile we were looking at looked like it was all very fine, silty material.
So our geology out here, you know, these different layers, one could be fine, one could be coarse, and it changes pretty
I mean, you can see
right through the
looks like
property.
he's cutting down to that white layer.
That's right. So
and that changes into a different type.
You can see the layers too, kind of, sort of, you know, on the wall over there, but they're just in a really good concrete sand mix right now.
Yeah.
And you know, as we hit different layers, if it's super fine, we may have to stockpile that and then wait until we get something more coarse and then blend those together.
What do you call that?
That's kaolin.
That's kale?
Yep, kaolin.
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 So like a, not kale, but like a...
Okay, it's kaolin. So that is a super heavy clay right there. And actually, that's what they make porcelain out of right there.
Well, that's not good for your sand.
Nope, that's not good for sand nor the plant, because that stuff, when it gets wet, clogs up everything. But that's like chalk for a chalkboard.
Well, you said in that other section you ran to like a 15-foot layer of that?
Yep.
So once you got that, it was you stopped. There's no need to end up with a... No, I mean, you can't, that's not even a good cover material, because it just...
Once it gets wet,
god-awful
it's slicker than you know what.
How much farther do you think you can go down here?
We're gonna find out.
Keep digging?
Yeah, we haven't cored this yet, so we don't know.
It's just a mystery. Keep digging until it looks like...
Keep digging until we hit something we can't use, and then we back up and punt and figure out where we're gonna go next.
All right, so here's the first process. As you can tell, they're doing a bench cut, cutting that, and then we'll go over there and check out where it's going to from here.
Yep.
A lot of sand. All right, so they're digging it out of the pit. Truck's up here, backing into the stockpile, correct?
That's right.
Kind of mixing it all together.
Mixing it all together, then the big John Deere's loading it into the hopper, going up the conveyor belt, into the screen deck, then down into the screws. So we got sand screws we'll take a look at. And that's where the sand's being washed.
Oh, wow. So I noticed one thing about this one is I can actually hear you talk on this one.
Yeah.
So everything's electric here.
Everything's electric here. This little plant just sits back here and hums all day long and just washes sand.
Unlike the rock crusher over there.
Unlike the rock crusher and the wood grinder and the trash compactor.
A little bit harder to hear on this one.
A lot less diesel around here.
Yeah, exactly. So you got your pond over there you're pulling water out of.
Yep.
It's pumping it up into here. He's got the hopper feeder.
Yep.
It's pumping it over here to the wash plant.
That's right.
Now with this setup, how many yards, I guess, an hour are y'all shooting for?
I think this one kind of just ticks along at about 122 tons per hour.
122 tons.
Just watch your head when you go.
Okay. So that's that stuff you were talking about right there. You're washing out your chunks of clay and stuff, right?
That's coming off of the main deck screens up here. That's all your rock and clay balls and stuff you don't want in your concrete sand. And then right up here this way, so after it goes through those screens up top, then it goes down into this big tank, and there's a rising current water coming up from the bottom, pushing all the fine stuff over the weirs.
Okay.
So that's all your silts and clays.
You're trying to get that out. You want the silt out of the sand.
I want just the sand left, and that's what you'll see right up here.
And these are technically called sand screws, right?
That's right.
So it's pulling that up, drying it out.
Pulling it up, drying it out, and that water that's actually pumping in up there is called drying water.
Okay.
So it's helping to pull even more water. As that river flows down, you see how it's just kind of pulling the water. So
yep.
It's kind of crazy that water can help dry material. And that's called your drying water. So then your sand falls out on the big radial stacker.
Yep.
And it'll sit there for a day and fully drain. And then it'll be ready for sale the next day.
So right now, obviously you moved it over here. You're loading out of that pile. And then once y'all get that cut back some, you'll move the stacker over there.
That's right.
Load from that side.
Yeah, we flip-flop between, you know, the wet side.
They don't want a lot of wet sand.
No, we want to sell sand, not water. So they're loaded out of this side today. Tomorrow they'll be loaded out of that
Okay, side. It'll dry out that fast?
Yep. There's the stream. So we don't use a lot of the stream deck because the sand's pretty clean.
Yeah.
So it's just going pretty much straight down to the tank, and then all your clay balls will come off the end. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty neat, huh?
It's pretty much sand and clay balls that are too much, right? I mean, there's really not a whole lot of contaminants down there.
Nope.
That just shakes off. And now do you have it where the I guess the loader can come in there and scoop that out, or you got to bring an excavator in here?
The small loader will come in there to that pit.
Yep.
And he'll scoop it out. But if you look right over this way, this is where we stack up all of the clay balls of rock.
Okay.
And hopefully down the road, there's some nice river rock in there. Hopefully I can get another machine to process that out and get that rock out.
I was going to ask you about that, because back home there's a lot of areas with the sand, you also get your river rock.
Yep.
Do you have veins where you run into river rock?
We do, it's just not that much.
Not enough to justify all that?
So over the years, if I stockpile enough to make it worthwhile, then maybe we can get the equipment to process and get that rock out.
Yeah, once you have a nice stockpile.
Yeah.
All right, so once all this is done, that gets stacked up. Where's all your silt and sediment going?
All right, so let's walk down here and I'll show you.
All right, so now I guess all your silty liquid is gravity feeding over here?
Yep, gravity feeding from those weirs down this pipe, goes into the slurry pump tank. And this is where we add a polymer.
Okay.
So that polymer gets injected right there. This big pump will then pump it to one of 3 ponds up on the site. And that polymer will help all the silts and clays bind together and fall out.
And separate from the water.
So that we get clean water coming back that we can reuse.
You keep reusing, not wasting so much. That makes sense. All electric motors.
All electric. Everything's electric around here.
So that just goes in there, and then you say you add you got a tank over there. That's the polymer.
That tank over there, it gets ejected out of that pipe you see coming out of the middle. Just slowly dripping that stuff in there. And then the other reason we want it to fall out fast, not only so we get clean water back, then it's just easier for us to go in and muck out those ponds.
Exactly.
Dry that material, then we can use it for cover in the landfill.
I got you. Let's go check out the sediment pond.
All right, let's go.
So our pump from way down there on the other side of that pile is pumping it all the way up here.
Yep, ends up in one of 3 sediment ponds, you know, so we can switch back and forth and let one fill up while we're cleaning out.
How many horsepower is that electric motor?
What
do you think?
I think that was a 60.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that. But it's pumping it a long way.
Yeah, that's a long way.
That's some thick slurry.
That's slurry.
And so you can see the polymer doing its job.
Yep.
All that stuff is pretty much immediately falling out.
Oh yeah.
Because right over there you can see the transition color change.
So what do you do here? Come over here with the excavator, dig it out, lay it over there, let that dry.
Yeah, so we got a little track around it. They'll just come muck it out, throw it over the primary drying pit, and we'll load it up, take it to a field, stack it, let it fully dry, and then we'll use it as cover.
This is probably a really good clay material.
It really is. It does good for getting the trucks back on top of the trash. And, you know, all we got sand out here, so we're clay poor. So this is one way we get the clay back.
You're pretty much making it.
Yeah.
Almost. You're pulling it out of the sand.
Pretty much, yeah.
A lot of mud. I'm used to dealing with that. You can just kind of see it just goes in there, and then they dig it out, haul it off. So it looks like this. Well, let's follow the water around and see where it goes. Looks like it comes over here. This catches it, and I imagine it goes to that dam over there. So let's walk over there and check that out. So it comes around the island right here, settles out, and then somewhere down there it dumps into those little 4 bays where more silt settles out, and then it goes back there, down there to that original pond where the big pump is on the platform out there, pumped into the screener down there. So you just keep raising up your intake pipe, or
yeah, we'll keep raising it up until we absolutely have to come in here and muck it out. Yeah.
Eventually, like, you're gonna do some clearing.
I know. I need that long reach.
I know. You need a drag line.
That's what I need.
He's the only one without a drag line, Mike. It'd be perfect right here.
And I need one.
Yeah, you got a shovel up front for a water feature, but you don't have a drag line to.
That'd be handy right here.
Chris will sell you his.
I'm a little partial to it. Had to come down. I'll have to come down here and run it.
There you go.
Mystery hole. Is that where the water disappears? I see where the mud ended up.
Yeah, be careful where you.
Yeah, let's get back over here. I'll check.
You'll find out real quick.
Yep. That's where the water returns to the earth.
Why don't you send the GoPro down there and see when they pop out?
Let me use yours.
Yeah, float it down.
Fun stuff, so. Ryan, definitely appreciate the tour of everything.
Absolutely, man.
It's been a pleasure. This is quite the experience you got right here. And
yeah, it's a pretty neat little site.
I'll have to add your Mr. Dig on YouTube. I'll
YouTube.
put your link in the description so everybody can see it. So we're gonna have about 5 videos out here. We can't just summarize all this into one. A lot of content, so good stuff. Well, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. You're welcome. Ryan.
Yep.
You just never cease to amaze me with
Can't stop, man.
your projects here.
You can't stop.
That's quite the hole in the ground there.
That's a big one. A little bit bigger than what we were looking at earlier.
That's a dredge way down there.
Yep.
That's a funny looking excavator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a high track D6. It's gonna
Yep.
look like a little matchbox by the time it gets all the way down there.
Yeah, we got a big slope we're pushing to the dredge right now, but that dredge is pumping about a quarter mile to the wash plant.
The wash plant over there.
Kind of see in the distance there.
You say that's a 14-inch suction dredge?
14 inch. Yeah, got
Holy
a 500
cow.
horsepower electric
Motor. And that's the power cable?
That's the power cable. Yeah, 4,160 volts in that.
Wow.
In that line.
So you're,
Going out there.
this is just a bigger scale of your other sand pit.
That's right.
But it's still concrete sand.
Still concrete sand, just a wet mining application
Operation instead of
versus dry
loading and hauling everything.
Yeah.
D6, what is it doing? Cutting that hill down so he doesn't end up with a vertical wall?
That's right, because that cutter head on that dredge is down there unearthing material.
Okay.
If he were to go into that vertical wall, he would undercut it.
And then cave off.
And then you got a tidal wave.
And then he'll end up halfway across your lake out there.
That's right, yeah, it could be bad. So he's doing two things. He's keeping the working area safe, but he's also blending all those sand,
Different layers together.
That's right, to get us a good gradation, just like we did out at Full Circle.
Gotcha. Well, let's go down there and check it out.
Let's go check. Let's go get close to it.
It's going to be fun going down there. It's not going to be fun coming back up. Can you get the golf cart?
Where's the escalator?
Yeah, get the golf cart.
Where's the easy button? Be like, can I run the dozer? I'll just drive it back up here and park it.
One-way trip.
Let's go check it out.
That whole layer right there is
The white sand.
yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Well, we've made it down the hill. Oh boy, that's
I don't want to look up there.
yeah.
Because I don't want to walk back up.
Maybe we'll take the long road.
Yeah, hang on to the dozer or something.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
All right, so we're down closer to the actual dredge. So that's that's the heart of the plant, right there.
That's where everything starts.
It's got to go through there to make it to the plant. So he's got his water jet on, and so he's not spraying us. He's got it aimed down a little bit, but he'll normally let it, just rain up here on the slope.
Okay.
And that'll just help wash material down
there in front of it.
to him. Yeah. So he's got a big cutter head down there right now, and it's spinning. And he's got winches on either side of the dredge, so he's pulling himself left and right, and then he's also raising that ladder up and down too, so he can control.
But I mean, he's doing all this by feel.
Oh yeah.
How deep is he in the ground?
He's probably about 25 feet. If he's all the way down, he's probably about 25 feet.
So what do you got, like a concrete block or something that's angled, or the cable's tied off to?
Yeah, they call them dead men.
Yeah.
Just anything that you can bury and have that cable secured to. And then they always mound up wherever they bury that thing, so it looks like a grave. So that's why they call it the dead man. That's his anchors, and he'll just pull himself back and forth.
And the winches are moving it that fast?
Yep.
Back and forth?
And the cutter head one direction, so it only spins one direction.
Okay.
So that cutter head's helping him move left or right. I don't know which way. He goes a little bit faster one way than the other.
Yeah. And he's just pushing some down here, and all day long, backs up, gets some, come back.
That's the scary part.
It's getting close to the edge.
Close to that edge.
Probably at when it first starts, because it's more of a vertical drop there.
Yeah, he's just helping the dredge out, and again, just helping keep that nice slope so you don't have that dangerous vertical.
So where would the other block be at?
He's probably got, I see it going right there. So that cable's going.
Okay. Oh, I saw it. Was that the same one that went way up the hill?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
And I guess that one right there, you just keep moving it back or make another one?
Yeah, so we'll pull him forward.
Yeah.
As he needs to, just depending on how much sand he's able to get in one spot.
Yeah.
So we'll pull him forward, move the dead men up, and just keep working into the bank.
He's moving side to side a lot faster than I was expecting. I figured he'd just kind of real slowly go and get a big swath.
Well,
or is it more efficient to take?
Letting those teeth on that cutter head just go a couple inches into the bottom. It just, if you try to drop it down too far too quick, it puts a lot of strain on that motor.
Oh, okay.
He's just letting that cutter head
just
dance
skimming a little bit at the time.
Yeah, unearthing it, and then there's a big pipe down there inside the cutter head. So when that stuff gets unearthed, it's sucking it right up that pipe and going all the way to the plant.
So how many yards an hour is that supposed to, would you say, on a good day?
This plant here is capable of probably a little over 200 tons an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, to pump and process and put on the ground as sellable material.
So in a good day, you can do 1,600 tons of That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he's pumping
with one machine.
He's pumping right under 7,000 gallons a minute of slurry.
Yeah.
Going to the plant.
And then you got a good processing plant over there, pretty.
Well, we got a processing
plant. You say you got more water than you can handle.
More material because we're pumping such a far distance.
You need all that.
You need that volume, but it's a little bit more than that plant is rated for. So it's a little bit more messy than our other operation.
I got you. So, well, good deal. Well, let's go over there and check that out.
Let's go check it out. Let Mr. Robert know you coming up beside him so he don't swing into you.
I don't know if that's why your electric bill is high, but that'd be a good indication.
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably at least 20 bucks a month to run that pool pump.
At least.
500 horsepower? Wow.
14-inch pump, and most pumps to run the water cannon up front.
Yeah. And it all pivots off that one spud.
That's right, yep. So that spud drops down, then he pulls himself back and forth.
Pretty cool, ain't it?
It is.
Basic, but it works.
The best part is they don't know how bad your grade is.
I know, it's all a mystery. Work all day and can't even tell you did anything.
Nope, have no idea.
That's pretty cool. All right, let's let the man get back to work.
Yeah, he got some more saying.
He got to make you some money. So here's the business end.
Here's the business end. Here's where the magic happens.
Like you said, it looks like you got plenty of water coming in.
We got more than enough.
But you said you have to have that volume for it just to get here.
Just to make it here. Because it's such a long distance.
You've got, how many feet are you thinking?
I know it's over a quarter mile from the dredge to here.
And that's a 14-inch line.
Yeah, well 12-inch. 14-inch intake, 12-inch line. Then you got to go up 20 feet. Head pressure down here at this end. So you got to have some oomph
to get it there.
So that's why we got to send so much material.
Where does it come in at?
It comes up in the very top, what they call the dog box.
Okay.
Up there. Then it goes down into that orange shaker deck.
Yep.
Got 2 screens on there. The clay balls and rocks get segregated out, fall off that chute back yonder. And then this one's different from full circle because this is an actual classifier.
Okay.
So the sand and water rush into this big tank. Your big grains settle out first. Your smaller grains of sand settle out later. And then we let them out. And, coming out of those plungers at the bottom.
So I'm looking at these holes right here. What's causing it to go from one hole to another hole?
So it's automated. And there's a plunger that tells it, okay, we need this much of this grain size and this much of this grain size to make the right gradation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's automated and letting out just the right amount so that our gradation of the concrete sand is as good as it can get.
So all you're making here is concrete sand.
That's it. 100%
100% concrete sand.
That's all.
But then the other plan over there is what you make your
masonry sand.
But you've got to rewash it and screen it.
Yeah, to get it finer part of it.
Yeah.
And that'll go into the mortar mix.
Okay. So the main pipe's coming in over there, going up.
That's right.
Screening it, big stuff's going off, little stuff's coming over here into this channel. And then same as your other one, you've got a screw right there.
That's right, yeah. With rising current, water washing all the fines off.
Yeah.
It looks like a pink milkshake.
Yeah.
Or strawberry milkshake, but that's all the fines and dust. We're
Coming back out, and then all that's going into there.
That way, and then recycle back around. Back to the dredge part.
How many gallons a minute you say you're moving?
6,600.
6,600 gallons a minute.
Yeah, a lot of water.
Over a quarter mile.
Over a quarter
with
mile.
Sand in it.
With sand in it. Up 25 feet. A lot of pressure, man.
A lot more than 25 feet if you calculate all the height from the boat.
Calculate everything, yeah.
From where the dredge is, it's probably 50 feet.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, a lot of water.
You can just see how much that sand has wore that down over time.
It's constant, man. We're constantly replating and lining.
And wears everything out.
It eats everything. Up in these perfect little dough balls, and that's what I got to separate out from the actual
rock. So that looks like river rock, but that's little clay balls.
That's clay. That's biscuits.
Biscuits. And then you just got to come through with the excavator every now and then, dig that out.
Yep, dig it out, toss it to
all
the
the fine silt just carries on, but
that's right.
How often do you have to do this?
Probably once a week.
Okay.
Once a week they'll come up and muck it out.
Dig it out, let it dry, and then load it out.
That's right. There's still, like I said, there's a lot of rock mixed in here. It's pretty decorative river rock. And we just got to figure out how to separate it from the biscuits.
An efficient process of doing that.
That's kaolin. Kaolin.
So you can see they're doing the final cleanup now. He's got the dredge head pulled up out of the sand down there, and they're just flushing clean water through here now to clean the plant out before shutting down for the day. He already came over here and dug out all the clay balls, and you can see the water's nice and clear coming through there. They're just flushing all that silt and sediment out before shutting down. It's been fun.